But it started with one woman.
Yes.
And yet he had 12 men who didn't understand.
Yes.
The question of numbers for business people are usually such a big problem. Even on this show, some people will say, but you don't have numbers. The numbers are not showing very big. Yes. But when I go into the background, the numbers are so huge.
Yes.
There's an algorithm somewhere that gives me the numbers of people from all over the world. I know who is watching you now.
Yeah.
I know which country, which geographical location, what they're using. Are they using the mobile phone or they're using the computers?
Yes.
And I noticed that 68% of the people who actually follow the CEO bench is on their mobile phone.
Okay, that's great.
And 80% of them are women.
Wow, amazing.
And they spend 80%, in fact 63% are women, and they spend 80% total time watching the program.
Yes, yes, yes.
But yet, when you look at it from here, the number looks very small. How do you justify that? And how do you tell a person who is being told of the numbers now not making sense?
No, numbers is very important. As a strategist, as a marketer, research and development, everything I do that through numbers. I always have my big calculator on my desk. Yeah. And that is what makes me different from probably other people. Yeah. And I took my learning when I was under, when I decided to learn from Mr. Simpson Birungi, the chairman of Movit. Yeah. That guy is a genius. We should invite him here. He's a guy who knows numbers, not your very hard numbers. How to multiply, how to divide, how to add. Yes. You can't say you're trying to market and you don't know how the turnover is going to be like. You don't know how to project. So numbers are very important. It's probably the reason we are in business. Because the more numbers I have, the more consumers I have, the more me as a Pan-Africanist, if I have, I can make sure we sell, say, 10 tons per week of Ugandan coffee abroad. It means more jobs. It means everything. Yes, it's numbers.
But can you start when you are starting from scratch, based on the story of my man there? I mean, everybody seems to be saying I need numbers now, but you can't have numbers at the beginning, such huge numbers at the
Definitely. Numbers, I'm speaking it from a vision point.
Okay.
You need to have a picture of what you want, and then you get there.
Yes.
I'll use an analogy. I love using analogies because it helps people understand better.
Yes.
If I want to be a pilot, what business am I doing in Qatar with bike sellers? What business do I have to do with them? It means probably I need to hang around Uganda Airlines, I need to sit with pilots. You meet them, and then they'll enhance your thinking, they'll tell you things you didn't know, and probably you'll gauge and say, I'd be a pilot or I'm not a pilot. This is not my thing, according to the explanation. The knowledge is there free. People give it to you free of charge. When I started working as a consultant at the airline, I started seeing pilots the same way I see you. Not the same way I used to see them. I used to see, because they fly things in the sky, they must be angels. They're human beings like you and me. And then when you ask them, they'll tell you, it needs 100,000 to fly Boeing to and fro. And then you calculate, okay, if I want to buy a private jet, does it fit in? You get what I mean? So numbers from a point of vision. And then you start walking towards it. Numbers guide me a lot when I'm doing strategies. Because they show you, they measure, they help you measure that you're not doing well. I'll throw some numbers at you, and I know it's going to cause you to think. Monaco has 37,000 people.
This is the city of Monaco. Monaco has the country.
37 people. 37,000 people. These people have a GDP per capita of 186,000 USD. You get that? Per capita of 186,000. So when I calculated in Uganda shillings, how much money the average guy gets per month in Monaco, it's 56,000. No, million.
Oh, $56 million.
No,
56,
Uganda.
Oh, it's 56 million Uganda shillings. Okay.
That's earning for a top CEO in Uganda. The other side, it is what is the basic, what every human being in Monaco earns. They are only 37,000. So it's a game of numbers. Numbers from the point of human resource. If 37 million can have 37,000 people can have an economy that gets the basic guy to get 56 million Uganda shillings, then on the side of people who think that you need a bigger human resource to create that, it has proved you wrong already, because fewer people have a bigger economy. So you come back to Uganda, where you have 45, let's say, million people, whose GDP per capita is 860,000. No, 860 USD. So when you put it in Uganda shillings, the average guy in Uganda gets like 120,000 per month. And you know that's the money you pay your maids. Or people, many people, that's the money they pay. So the guys who calculate GDP are not just talking, GDP per capita are not just talking things from the air. They really sit down and calculate, and it makes sense for me. So I'm like, that's when I started Monaco, it gave me courage that I don't need 100,000 people to make Africa better. You need just a few thousands to look in the right direction, very inspired, very knowledgeable, to get the continent forward. That's numbers.
Wow.
You get what I mean? But also I kind of was like, for example, the other day President Museveni gave an example of Walmart having a bigger economy than that of East Africa. When I know you've been to Nairobi. Nairobi is such a big city, big economy, almost the third on the continent, very thriving. But when you mirror it against the Walmart economy, it's cartoon.
It's not even there. It doesn't suffice. It's not closed.
Because East Africa has about 7 countries, isn't it? 6 to 7.
6 now.
6.
So it's Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and South Sudan that is coming. 6.
6.
6
economies can do better than just one store, one supermarket. So that's numbers. It helps you put things in perspective. Makes you know that you're not doing well, because that's the measure. And then you start moving forward. So it's not numbers that I need numbers today, because for you to be relevant to the numbers is to have something to provide to the numbers. And I encourage all businessmen, all artists, all marketers to always think about numbers. So Walmart, for example, their turnover is 559 billion USD. The turnover of East Africa, or GDP, is 193 billion
dollars.
6 countries against
one supermarket.
So against one supermarket in some part of the world. So Walmart employs about 1.5 million people in every store. You can imagine the population of East Africa. So you have 1.5 million people against 80 million people, or plus, against 120 million plus. So 1.5 million people are able to do bigger things than 120 million people. Numbers help you to put things in perspective, and then you start moving forward.
Bedford, thank you so much. I want you to go to point number 10 as we close up. Our time is fast spent, but I want to say thank you very much. Mugamba Robert said great conversation, and I think he's enjoying the conversation and the numbers. Thank you very much, Mugamba Robert, as well as my friends from Rwanda, Burundi. Thank you very much. They said were enjoying the interview. I've seen comments coming from guys who follow you in Nairobi saying thank you very much for having the gentleman on the show. How old is he? They are asking how old are you to have these great insights about the stuff that we're talking about here. The CEO Bench is about leadership, change management, and transformation. And all we've been talking about here, from the votes that came in, the 30 votes that came in, we wanted Bedford Buyungo to come back to the program and give, some nuggets of truth about how we can help our struggling businesses. This is from the private entrepreneurs corner. And of course, I think that he's been able to give that, coming from the background of a brand developer, product developer, marketer, an advertiser, and an entrepreneur, and a Pan-Africanist, thinking at a different level altogether. Bedford, if you'll pick it up from point number 10 as we close.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm enjoying the viewers' comments as well.
Yes.
I'm 43 years in August.
Wow.
So I was born in 1978.
Yeah.
And yes, I know I probably look old.
Yeah.
But in a different part of the world, my age, you're very old.
Yeah.
Being there, that.
Yeah.
In this part of the world,
You're just starting.
We're just starting.
In fact, we make money when we're 40 plus. They said we start to become serious at 45.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't live a very healthy life to see us enjoy that, because at 40 we are dying. I mean, how many of our colleagues have died at 40?
Yeah.
Because they are not living a very healthy life and a fit life to be able to enjoy the start of this process of the journey.
Yes.
And so one of the things that I'm trying to do in many of my thinking right now is to turn my skills and my training of health and fitness to be able to make other people become successful.
Yes.
And I believe that if I make them become successful in being healthy and fit, I will make money off all my life. The reason being, if they are successful, they will always not forget the water that, the hand that was feeding them.
Definitely.
I mean, if I train 1,000 people, give information to 1,000 people, I'm hoping that maybe about 500 will come back. The other 500 will throw me off balance.
No, the 500 will come.
Yeah, but there's a 500 people who are going to come. So yes, you're right when you say the age. And until we need to pick up from the health and fitness point of view as, CEOs and entrepreneurs at your level you've reached, to be able to think serious. Guys, health and fitness is key. And I think that COVID-19 is helping us settle the boat, the balances, checking us there and right and left and center, that you are home. By the time you're coming back from the 42 days, you probably put on so much weight, the anxiety has kicked in. You cannot think very well for your business because you are unfit and unhealthy at the same time. And that means that your productivity, like Bedford said, in the other part of the world, 43, they are retiring. In this part of the world, 43, we are starting and yet we are dying. So we have not started, we are not even not there. Yeah. Unless we're able to work our way stronger and more fitter. But over to you, Bedford. Sorry, I had to interject with that point because you touched something quite very important in this discussion.
No, that's very important.
Yeah.
There is something I call the fast tracking of the African mind.
Yes.
And that's what we need.
Yeah.
In the area of health, in the area we need to fast track our thinking.
Yes.
And if you were miseducated for 19 years, you need to unload the 19 years fast. And then retape.
Yes.
If it was, like the video recording, and retape new knowledge.
Yes.
And then get on the faster lane we talked about,
and
then run.
Yes.
If it's a race, 100 meters dash, and you're against Usain Bolt and all that, just know that Usain Bolt, Tyson Gay, they are at the 50-meter mark, and you're on the 0 mark. Appreciate it that way. That's how we started. That you need to appreciate that you are locked down for 42 days, but the other world is moving, and they are much more better than you. They have system, they have addresses, which mean everything. They have social security, they have everything, and you are at the 0 mark trying to
catch up with them.
So my 10th point is find someone to mentor you. My 11th point, I guess. Find someone to mentor you. touched about it a little bit, but let me stress it out that we need to find someone.
That is actually point number 10.
Yeah.
We wrapped up 10 and 11 years. You said you put 11 point years.
Yeah. We need, you need to, someone to mentor you in the area of health.
Yeah.
If that's the need you have. You in the area of business. Like I have a few mentors and I treat them like fathers. I told you the guy who taught me how to calculate, how to use the calculator was someone who even has no degree. But I appreciated his touch. I mirrored him against people who have degrees and economists, and I'm like, I'm going with this guy who employs 3,000 people, pays them every 2 weeks on time.
Yes, and runs the company that supplies East Africa, and now I think it's Africa.
He's in 9 countries.
Yes.
I'm like, this guy, he has to be my mentor in the area of finance, in the area of numbers. Yeah. So occasionally I check on him. Even yesterday I sent him, MZ, I hope you're well. And he said, yes, I'm good. How about you? I said, I'm good. So in the area of spirituality, I have my mentor. In the area of excellence, I have the Michael Jackson guy. You know, he's 64. Dorian Hall is 64. He's retired. He's still you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I'm making use of him. And guess what? If Michael Jackson paid him, he's giving me free knowledge.
Wow.
I have Professor Lumumba, because that is the direction I'm taking. As a Pan-Africanist, I need a Pan-Africanist who can easily introduce me to people. I need a Pan-Africanist who tells me, I think you're going on a wrong trajectory. I think this is it. We need Pan-Africanists who not just talkers but doers. So that's what Professor Lumumba tells me. So occasionally, I think for you to hire Professor Lumumba to speak, you'd have to pay 6,000 USDs. He gives me that knowledge for free. You get what I mean? Of course, a mentor will have to appreciate your hunger and then start, you know,
feed the hunger.
But these are people who've done things. And I'm saying they are not leaving me behind. I'm going with them. Let me go on the Kameme, but I'll reach. Eventually, I'll be able also to mentor others.
Wow. Let's go to point number 11 as we close the show.
Of course, point number 11 is learning from experience. We had the first pandemic, and if we didn't learn anything, the second pandemic is clearly telling us that the world is on reset. If you think that you're going to open up a shop, a cloth shop, and sell the way you used to sell before COVID, then it's like you're waiting for the ship at the airport.
Wow.
Things have changed.
Wow.
Things are very virtual. If you think that your human resource staff is going to be able to work the way they used to work, then you're wrong, because these people, while at home, they've been introduced to many other things. Some of them are learning new skills. So if you view them the way you used to view them before, it's like waiting or winking at a woman in the dark.
Wow.
You better stand and appreciate that things have changed. Take stock.
Wow.
Sit down with a paper and pen and say human resource. Plot it and say things have changed. Interview your staff. You know, ask them what they want to be in 5 years. I promise you they'll tell you different things. They've learned things. Some of them know what is working and what is not working. So I want to thank you for the opportunity of hosting me here. For the viewers who've who've been watching us, the people who nominated me, and I want to tell them that or give them encouragement. I shouldn't give. They should still have hope that things are going to be better, and they should look north. And of course, if they are spiritual, God will come to our rescue. And but God has to find us doing something. They need to learn. They need to have their visions clearly written, because that will help the posture they're going to take. And also to remind them that we as research and development fellows are constantly coming up with ideas of how to make things better. For example, we are going to have the cheapest mortgage in the world.
Yes.
And you and I are going to work on that.
Yes.
We'll have the cheapest mortgage in the world. Yeah. Housing is going to be
something that has never been discussed before, something has never been thought about before.
Definitely.
Something that people have never even thought about in their wildest imagination.
Yeah, housing is going to be a human right.
Yeah.
We're going to make it here in Uganda. You and I and our team,
yes,
we're going to make it happen. It's not going to be that for you to own a house, you've succeeded. That would be the foundation,
yes,
and not the limit.
Wow.
To your success.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Well, Bedford, thank you so much for coming to the CEO Bench today. I would like to say we are really extremely humbled to have you back on the show today. And I think that those who have nominated you have not gotten anything short than their expectations were at the beginning, and that informed their decision to nominate you to come back to the show. And to everyone out there, thank you very much for being part of the show. I would like to say thank you, and we're looking forward to having you anytime we have the vote. The CEO Bench is purely about the vote. You see the person, you don't understand them, but you hear about them and you want them to come. We created this platform so that they can come and share their ideas. 1.5 hours of them sharing their ideas, sharing their thoughts, and of course their experiences in the area of leadership, change management, and transformation. Until then, we want to say thank you and keep it a CEO Bench. Like Bedford Buyunga said, we're working on something. Again, don't wink on that woman in the dark. As the pandemic comes, that's a learning for today. As you come out the 42 days, please put the light, put the glasses, and see the beauty of that human being called the business that God had placed before you. And like you said, you have to make sure that you don't wait for God to find you when you are seated. Rather, God should find you when you're walking. Until then, keep it the CEO Bench. Bedford Buyungo, Ed Your Killer, signing out.
C'est l'Alliance française. Une fille m'a posé une question, pourquoi prendre le français alors que je lui parlais Je vous invite à venir.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
Viens mon frère, viens ma sœur, à l'Alliance française.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
Venez, venez,
Venez apprendre le français. Venez à l'Alliance française.
venez, 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 oh, oh.
Venez apprendre le français. Venez à l'Alliance française.
Je vous invite à venir.
Venez apprendre le français.
Oh, oh, oh.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
Les Français dit langue étrangère la plus largement appris après l'anglais. Les Français dit langue étrangère la plus largement appris
Après l'anglais,
la connaissance du français ouvre des portes des entreprises en France.
comme à l'étranger.
La connaissance du français ouvre des portes des entreprises en France.
Comme à l'étranger.
Le français est la langue de la culture.
La langue internationale pour la cuisine.
La mode, les théâtres, les habitués, la danse et l'architecture. Le français est la langue de la culture. La langue internationale pour la cuisine. La mode, les théâtres, les habitués, la danse
Et l'architecture.
oh, oh, oh,
Oh, I love France.
oh,
Oh, I speak French.
oh, oh,
Oh, I love France.
oh,
Oh, I speak French.
I love French.
Oh,
I love
I
French.
love French.
I speak French.
Oh,
I speak
I
French.
speak French.
I love French.
Oh,
I love
I
French.
love French.
I speak French.
Oh,
I speak
I
French.
speak French.
Oh,
Oh, I love French.
oh,
Oh, I speak French. Venez apprendre le français. Venez à l'Alliance française.
venez, venez,
Venez apprendre le français.
venez, venez,
Venez à l'Alliance française.
venez à Kamocha.
Venez apprendre le français.
Blood Sekandé.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
Venez dans la grande famille. Venez, oh,
Apprendre le
oh, oh.
français.
Venez mes amis.
Venez à l'Alliance française. Bien Molière, c'est l'idiot n'a pas pris. En passant pareil à Kampala. Pourquoi tu penses que les Français tirent la internationale?
Que tu sois fondé autour du four du plaisir. Dis-moi le bonheur en abondant et là,
En pleine évolution.
Venez,
Venez apprendre les Français.
mes amis, venez.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
La langue française,
Venez
la langue
apprendre
des
les
pères,
Français.
la langue de la courtoisie.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
La langue française,
Venez
la langue de la
apprendre les
courtoisie,
Français.
la langue des pères.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
Venez dans la grande famille, venez à l'Alliance française, venez apprendre le français.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
Je vous invite à venir, venez mes
apprendre
amis,
les Français.
venez,
À l'Alliance française.
venez.
Parlez français.
Parlez français.
Parlez français.
Everybody parlez français.
Parlez français.
Everybody, bina moke. Bina moke. Bina moke.
Bina moke.
Everybody, bina moke.
Bina moke.
Bina à gauche.
Bina à gauche.
Bina à droite.
Bina à droite.
Bina devant.
Bina devant.
Bina derrière.
Bina derrière.
Bina devant.
Bina devant.
Parlez français.
Parlez français.
Parlez français.
Parlez français.
Parlez français. Venez, venez.
Venez apprendre les Français. Venez à l'Alliance française.
Je vous invite à venir. Venez apprendre les Français. À Kamochao.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
À Bukoto Street.
Venez
Claude
apprendre le
Saint-André.
français.
Venez, venez, venez.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
Si tu veux parler français,
Venez
viens à
apprendre
l'Alliance.
les Français.
Si tu veux parler,
Venez à l'Alliance française.
si tu veux entrer dans la famille,
Venez
viens,
apprendre les
viens,
Français.
viens, viens, viens.
Venez à l'Alliance française.
Kankubulide nze kufuna kukuba mpeta gano mazima katemba namukowa hani kimanye nti bakuntondera nze buli kiwoma nakizuula mu gwe omukwano gwo teguyinza kuntama n'amapenzi go tegakutika malayika oba nange wefuna emirembe malayika otabaawo wenkuba ebiwobe malayika wange oba nange wefuna emirembe kiraba ki ekiritwawula amazima sikiraba. Kirindirizi tebakutiisanga balinga soda kupate mu duniya tebeewalika yadde ebibimba bikasirukutafugwa omwoyo gwange kabi tegwakusiima bino byekemba si byamaneno guno omukwano si gwa muceeso malayika oba nange wefuna emirembe malayika otabaawo wenkuba ebiwobe malayika wange oba nange kadisi temuli kalungi mama nyabo botabawo mama dia botabawo mbango mulwadde ataina ddagala botabawo kibanga kyeyo nga sirina mpapula botabawo numwango mulalo kwebanyaze botabawo olunaku lubalusaze nze botabawo nsirana ntunula bugululu botabawo manga gavumenti yetayina kalulu botabawo omukwano nze mbeera ngenderera botabawo nga nebyenkola byonna bituuna malayika obanange malayika botabawo malayika wange wenfuna emirembe kiraba kiri ekiritwawula amazima sikiraba
Sylvester and Abrams. This goes out to our fallen soldier Pitek, aka Paul Mwanda, and to all those people in the everyday struggle. Mulemereko. Yokolanga biganye, lemerako. Abatagaliza basuse, lemerako. Gumikiriza, lemerako. Tuli balumungo wangudde, lemerako. Yokolanga byesibye nnyo, lemerako. N'abatesi beetawula nnyo, lemerako. Gumikiriza, lemerako. Tuli balumungo wangudde, lemerako. Mu buli kintu wabeera wakufiriza, abamusanyu kyokola abo bakiyimiriza, era atambula akwogerako nti takukkiriza, oyo mugereko mpola yagala kuzikiriza, wezimba buli kyogulirewo kimunyiza, kasita otegedde bambi tomala budde, anyiga ng'okulaakulana mwesaleko, gwe tolekera okulana maanyi era omuyiteko, kola bibyo teekayo omwoyo, balinyuma ebyafaayo, ovudde wala nnyo kati olinnye amadaala, era ofuna sente ezikuyisa mu lunaku, olya onyirira tokaaba nnaku, sikugwe weka aboogeddwako bangi, kati tolekerera ssaala kubanga kyekijinji, boogere nga bamala budde oliba ofunye siringi. Byokolanga biganye, lemerako. Abataagaliza basusse, lemerako. Gumikiriza, lemerako. Tuli balumungo wangudde, lemerako. Byokolanga byesibye nnyo, lemerako. N'abatesi beetawula nnyo, lemerako. Gumikiriza, lemerako. Tuli balumungo wangudde, lemerako. Yo nkoye abataagaliza bannaabwe, essanyu lyabwe kulemesa nze naawe kaliraba. Goita mukwano goba musaba kapira bakube ndobotero ove mu kisaabwe ensi weto, era sagala bokana yenna oboisi busa gendo buzeko mulala yenna. Tulina okwegendereza abatuwabula kuba abamukubbo bafa kimu kutulemesa naye era bwe basembera gwe lwanyisa embeera ojja kumalako nga Nelson Mandela. Abantu bangi bagala okutta ku byokola bakwogerera ebigambo n'ebyo tobifaako gwe lemerako. Ekiganye ndamugezeeko ojja kuba muwanguzi abalemesa baveeko. Natandika mpola katira bajendi ugumikiriza na manyi sibinywera mindi. Byokolanga biganye, lemerako. Abataagaliza basusse, lemerako. Gumikiriza, lemerako. Tuli balumungo wangudde, lemerako. Byokolanga byesibye nnyo, lemerako. N'abatesi beetawula nnyo, lemerako. Gumikiriza, lemerako. Tuli balumungo wangudde, lemerako. Ensi eno opangirira ofuna obusente bwo osobole okwezimba olyeko obulungi, so ku mabbali nga waliwo abakulaba obubi b'osuubira nti bali kusanyukidde olw'enkulaakulana yo. Naye nze nkuzaamu essuubi, kimanya ebintu si byangu, naye olina ensonga lwaki wasalawo okola ekyo ky'okola. N'olwekyo si kirungi obiveeko. nedda sagala obiveeko omweyogereze takusuuza kayanziko gwe fuba nnyo okulaba ng'obeesalako bwe batyo bakutogera balina kye beekoleddewo
yo togwa musuubi Seruganda ne bw'olabanga kiri bubi sigwa singayo okuba obubi okubonaabonako kimanye si enkomerero kola n'amaanyi ebyokaaba obikomerero
basasida abakaaba mu kifo ky'okulemerako omuddawo ne mwekubagiza nga twalaba luuza senkaaba amazima tewali kyekola kyokka bintu byakutoba mu nsi eno ejjudde ab'ennugu
naye katonda bw'akuwa omukisa mwena njagala mukimanye teri asobola kuguzibikira ne bw'akolima bagamba ekikolimo ky'enkoko tekitakamunye bajja kulaba ng'owangudde nabo beewunye
byokola nga biganye lemerako abataagaliza basusse lemerako gumikiriza lemerako tuli balumu ng'owangudde lemerako byokola nga byesibye nnyo lemerako nga n'abatesi beetawula nnyo lemerako gumikiriza lemerako tuli balumu ng'owangudde lemerako byokola nga biganye lemerako abataagaliza basusse lemerako gumikiriza lemerako tuli balumu ng'owangudde lemerako byokola nga byesibye nnyo lemerako nga n'abatesi beetawula nnyo lemerako gumikiriza lemerako tuli balumu ng'owangudde lemerako
yo in whatever you do in life you should never give up one day you'll succeed cause nothing comes easy in life Sylvester and Abrams we'll never stop.
That's when I started learning that, this is how coffee is. But why is it that we produce coffee here and just sell it when we don't take it here, we don't consume it here? So one time, when I had just started my training here, I went back to Uganda. And then I went to a hotel, a very established hotel. I will not mention its name. Then I wanted to see if I have people that know about coffee in hotels, because I knew probably big hotels serve coffee. So to my dismay is that I introduced myself as a barista and everybody was like, what's a barista? So I said a barista is a specialist that makes coffee, a person who makes coffee for people to, coffee like, cappuccino, different kinds of, coffees, and people were like very great. I said, this is a big hotel. I expected to find here a coffee machine, and nobody knows about it. So it's, I think, incumbent of us to really transform this entire community, the entire country, to coffee, to learn about coffee, and also to give them the advantages of coffee, teach them about coffee, and then later on they maybe consume it, rather than just selling it.
Mariana, ma Mariana, ono muwala tebamukwana. Maria,
Mariana, ma Mariana, ono muwala teba mukwana. Big woman thing. Girl, me love how you talk so. Girl, when you talk, me can't tell you shut up. Simplify when you talk, baby. When you talk, I'm just a blackout. Jagalanzi J for your body boat. No visa, baby, got no passport. No money, boo, no visa too. But baby, me give you the comfort. Maria, Maria, Mariana, ma Mariana, ono muwala teba mukwana. Maria, Maria, Mariana, ma Mariana, ono muwala teba mukwana.
Big woman thing, baby killer, bite me, Dracula. Seen you from afar with my killer binocular. Me speak vernacular, Nkwagala you a killer. Me know say so many men I want you back to walk it up.
She tell me she could love me, but she got HIV. How could I see that when she got no ID? Maria, Maria, Mariana, ma Mariana, ono muwala teba mukwana. Maria, Maria, Mariana, ma Mariana, ono muwala teba mukwana. Ono muwala teba mukwana. Maria, Maria, Mariana, ma Mariana, ono muwala teba mukwana. Kampala, Apex, Uganda. Don't know about the music, Nessimp and production. Jala get tipsy off a NSC. Me see Pepsi, a lot of them I see. The movie and no apology. Many artists get an allergy. The wagulu, a lot of them me a pre-torture. For the music in a oveni. We gone so high, so a lot of them I see. We are so high. Bali mumotoka fe tuli kubigere, tulinze sente zafe ziwere, mambo mingi alatakelele.
And a bad mind still fight it every day.
Power, them a like that fire power, them a like that fire power. Fire happy bone, and soon. Monday to Sunday na kulwange, sula wonanze wensanze. Abachala bange bona mubampe, nyenyeza mo wine pame. Me tell them that he bad mind, no time for you. No response if me think it, no wreck for you. Don't need gira, but no see good debo. I'm a time for you, mash up the place, you know. Bali mumotoka fe tuli kubigere, tulinze sente zafe ziwere, mambo mingi alatakelele.
And a bad mind still fight it every day.
Them a like that fire power, them a like that fire power. Fire happy bone and soon. Bagamba, nzenja kanga malaika, akapira nkazanya me striker. Tubayo mubire like flighter. Never to lava, they say we out of the sight. But to wala na beka we art and style. Zena the movie before the boy there, I know. DJ me know your bad there, I know. Girl them off the wine pan time. Bali mumotoka fe tuli kubigere, tulinze sente zafe ziwere, mambo mingi alatakelele.
And a bad mind still fight it every day.
Power, them a like that fire power, them a like that fire power. Fire happy bone and soon. Studio with Tony, now we not a killer. Everybody fall in when they see the killer. Everybody fall in, feel lyrical, oh me gala.
love me when me perform it. You me pull up the bad man style, yeah, hear me. Too much money to me think you can't help me. Now me sell on the water like fairy. Some say me cool but me say I'd vary. Bali mumotoka fe tuli kubigere. Tulinze sente za feziwele. Mambo mingi alatakelele. And a bad mind still fight it every day. Power, them a like that fire power. Them a like that fire power. Fire off the bone and so on. Step on top like a pulpit. Flow got brain inside it. So visible them can't hide it. No man to me think can't hide it.
You know me now. Yeah, you know. Alex. Too much. Hey. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo. Ooh, yo. You know wange gonna londa. Sente te wali ne tusonda. You know wange agumide embera zonna. Kachaya kabisi ne tunisa. Ebizibu byensi ne bitusota. Omuchalo musufu ngono. Nali butewa. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Nsana yetwe kwata katanda kuba yayina plani. Sakala ntunge nsena nebase kukyalani. When nobody calling, Nsakubawo, you are my darling. Siri kusibya njala, ekibuga nja kitambula. You know wange gwe nalonda, sente tewali ne tusonda. You know wange agumide embera zonna. Kachaya kabisi ne tunisa, ebizibu byensi ne bitusota. Omuchalo musufu ngono. Nali butewa. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo. If I love in a triangle, my love no chameleon and go. Okukwagala chiba chife naza musango. Asatebo bakankwasa na kuyisa miryango. Tuli fembeats, me and you, twewala bigambo. You know wange gwe nalonda, sente tewali ne tusonda. You know wange agumide embera zonna. Kachaya kabisi ne tunisa, ebizibu byensi ne bitusota. Omuchalo musufu ngono. Nali butewa. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo, ooh, yo, ooh, yo. Ooh, yo. Ooh, yo. You know wange gwe nalonda, sente tewali ne tusonda. You know wange agumide embera zonna. Kachaya kabisi ne tunisa, ebizibu byensi ne bitusota. Omuchalo musufu ngono.
say why.